What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Take a Hike with Jim. We're going to give it just a few moments here as we are waiting for people hopefully to come on and join us live, and we finish setup as we do every week, because you know me, we're never prepared for these dang on things, right? But we started about 15 minutes earlier or so than what we usually do on our Tuesday night. So comment section is now open. If you'd like to drop a comment, you can drop us a comment and different things like that about tonight and what we're going to be talking about. It's going to be a very good conversation. This is the segment, this is the part of the live show where you, the viewer, the subscriber, get to vote each and every week on what we're going to talk about on Tuesday nights as part of our live stream. And once you select, has a majority of what that topic's going to be, we address and go over that topic, and we just have general conversation on top of that. Friday night lives are about subscriber appreciation and getting into gear and different things like that, although we'll probably get into that a little bit again here tonight and everything too. So we're having a good time, and we want to talk about some of the things that's been going on last week. Not as many hiking videos since last week to this week, so we want to get into that as well. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and let's get a rocking. Once again, if you'd like to make a donation, it's right there in the destination, in the description. Let's get on to the subject. Dealing with the mental aspect of preparing for an Appalachian Trail thru-hike. You know, when I started putting these questions together this last week, and I've been putting a lot of things with mental health, because I struggle a lot with some mental health issues, thus I got the semicolon tattoos and different things like that. I'm a big supporter of the semicolon movement. Mine is in the form of a yin-yang. It reminds me that every bad day's going to have a little bit of good, but every good day's going to have a little bit of bad in it. You're going to have your uphills, your battles, your challenges. I have one on my left leg. It's a semicolon. It says, I got your six, which means I got your back. I deal with mental health. I deal with combat PTSD. I deal with depression. I deal with anxiety. I deal with stress. I deal with a lot of things in a lot of ways in an amped up level. So when I was preparing for this question thing, you know, I felt like, and I have felt like from the very beginning of wanting to put together for the Appalachian Trail and preparing for a thru-hike, everybody seems to talk about the Virginia blues, right? And everybody seems to talk about depression after coming off the trail and the mental aspect of coming off the trail, and sometimes the loneliness and isolation that you feel while on a trail. But can we just be honest with each other right now? We're live. I mean, we got our cup of double Java. We got our Dr. Pepper right here. So we're settled in for a long winter's nap. It's snowing, it's ice, and it's nasty outside. So we got a little bit of time. We started a few minutes early because I know that there's some of you that have to jump off because of bedtimes and time zones and stuff like that. So in saying that, can we just be honest with each other? We're live. Let's be honest with each other. Let's have that Hunger Games moment where I'm honest with you, you're honest with me, and we agree just to be honest with each other, okay? Like Snow and Katniss, all right? If you know, you know, right? Let's just make it happen. Let's just be honest with each other. So, in saying that, honestly, there is a mental side to this when you're in preparation that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about the mental and dealing with the aspect of preparing for an Appalachian Trail thru-hike and what that literally looks like. Sorry about my hair. I got hat head right now. What that looks like and the coming through it and what you have to do. Now, I spend, so I'm going to tell you some of I got about 5 that I do personally when it comes to Appalachian Trail and in preparation and mentally preparing. So the number one thing that I want to start with is have you a good support system. That's number one. You need to establish a good support system long before you even step on trail. For me, I have some friends. A lot of my friends have already moved out, moved on, or they're military or whatever, because that's my life. I have family that's a part of my support system. The biggest part of my support system right now currently is this camera and you ladies and gentlemen out there on YouTube and different things. Now, I've had 2 different therapists tell me 2 different things when it comes to this, as far as having my support system be an online social media style support system, okay? So one physical therapist, or not physical therapist, one mental therapist told me that's kind of really an unhealthy aspect, that I need a more human connection going into this thing, and that I need people around. So I have that, and I have that connection with my family. So let's deal with that aspect of it first. So I have that connection, and I have those people around me that once I start talking about the trail, every aspect of the trail, let's just be honest. If we are Appalachian Trail through hiker and we're preparing, I guarantee you that you can go right now and ask 5 of your closest friends or family members that are around you the most if you're driving them absolutely crazy, and if they're honest, they're going to say yeah. You have to become obsessed. We become obsessed with this thing, right? We become obsessed with it. So how does one prepare for the mental aspect of an Appalachian Trail through hike? Number one, talking about it. Just talking about it. Getting the ideas, getting the thoughts, the fears, the preparation, the final tasks, going through every aspect of it mentally 100 times over, putting that checklist in place up here in your brain, saying, you know what, hey, what's up? Doing pretty good there. Thanks for the hearts, appreciate it. Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Snow, yeah, getting snowed and iced in, not so much snow, but ice. Appreciate all those hearts, right? But just talking about it, just talking about the trail with someone, and helping get through the preparations, the checks, the rechecks, the balances, and all of these things. Man, I'm really appreciating those hearts. The checks, the balances, and all of those things, right? That really helps me personally. I can't speak for everybody, but it helps me personally to know that, number one, I am driving people around me crazy, because I'm making sure that they know every aspect of what I'm doing. So that kind of helps calm my fears personally. So the human connection, I can understand when the therapist says you need that. I can understand that human connection and that part of it, versus the online support system part of it. I understand what she's saying, but we'll get to what the other therapist is saying too here in a minute. So number one, talking about it, and just your family and your friends, especially so much more than your family, than your friends, are going to have fears for you, right? They're going to be like, the number one thing I hear when preparing for this trail is, you know there's going to be bears out there, right? And it's just like, nah, really? You mean there's going to be bear? I mean, I didn't know that, didn't realize it. Man, different story, different time. Yesterday, my buddy went hiking fishing. He's a transplant to the National Forest here. And, yeah, him and bears, it's hilarious. But anyway, so they have their fears, you have your fears, and it's great to talk about and explain those things. The other thing I do is, for my mental preparedness headed into, I try to watch as many people that have through-hiked this as possible, and ask as many questions as possible. That's my big thing. I'm not afraid to, like, I don't know if y'all saw my community post the other day. I put out there, I was like, you mean to tell me I've been sleeping on my air mattress wrong this whole time? I've been using it, and it's a simplistic piece of equipment. You pump the you pump the sucker up, sorry. You pump it up, you lay on it, right? You lay on the sucker, and you sleep, and I just want good sleep, and all that stuff. And then somebody just happened out of the blue that is a former they've tried to attempt a through hike a couple times. They hit me up, and they're like, Jim, have you let a little bit of air out of that air mattress? And I was like, no, they just like, try that. So I did. And it's working, and it's worked. And I was like, I camped out in 21-degree weather the other night, and it was phenomenal. And I slept great. I mean, my body didn't hurt, my hip didn't hurt. For the first time, I saw light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm not afraid, when dealing with the mental aspect, I'm not afraid of failing, but I'm not afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask. So talking about it's fine, but don't be afraid to ask questions about the trail and stuff you may or may not know. Listen, I'm new to this through hike stuff, and I know there's people out there that think that I'm arrogant and I'm cocky and that I'm rude and I'm off-putting and all these things, and I'm sorry I come off that way a lot of times when I'm typing and different things. I'm just a good old boy from West Virginia. I type like I talk, right? So you kind of got to, the enunciation ain't in the fingertips, you know what I mean? So anyway, it's saying that. If you know, you know. But I very much, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to say, hey, I don't understand. I don't get it. Why the heck is this an option as a battery pack, but this is not an option as a battery pack? This seems like to me that it'd be more, right? Any common person looks at it and goes, hey, you don't think it's come off? Well, I appreciate you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're too kind. You really are. The average person looking at it, well, that's a solar panel, man. That's going to be great. That's what my initial thought was. And then you do research after you buy this stuff, and because you didn't ask enough questions. And this is going with the dealing with the mental aspect. This is not about gear review. I'm just wanting to deal with the mental part of it. And you're going, man, I'm scared. Because mental possibility is scared. What if I get out there, I have no power, have no whatever? So you get something that looks cool, it looks flashy, it's expensive, it's heavy. And you know what? It's trash. It ain't going to work good on the trail. You can't charge it, and it's not going to charge to recharge itself. It's so that you can keep the little blinky light on. So it's trash. So this battery bank is a lot better, or it was, and I bought it, and it's heavy, and now guess what? It's trash. It won't charge, so I got to get another battery bank. So, but anyway, you don't know until you ask these questions: what works, what doesn't, talk about things, because that really is a mental aspect of preparing for trail, because you can find yourself very much depressed and very much driving everybody around you crazy. So the third thing in this one side of it, like I said, we got a lot of area to cover right now, a lot of area to cover, is don't be afraid to take the constructive criticism when you get it wrong. Don't be afraid to take the constructive criticism when you get it wrong. So when you're dealing with the physical part of it, and of preparing for this trail, and you're packing and you're doing all these things, don't be afraid to step back and say, my bad, I need to take a second, I need to breathe. And we're actually going to be showing you some technical and some technique things that we've been doing. It's going to seem weird. It's going to seem weird. I promise you it's going to seem weird. But I promise you it works. But we'll get to that portion. But in saying that, you know, don't be afraid to step back and say, my bad, got it wrong. And don't take it personal. That's the second part of that. Don't take it personal. Me, I'm an always take it personal type of guy. I don't know about you folks. I'm always overreacting. Anybody, can I get an amen up in here? I ain't even trying to preach, but I'm preaching trail preaching. You hear me? I'm a person that takes stuff, I overreact. I take stuff, a lot of times, I'm just going to be honest, I take stuff personal sometimes. And here's the thing, it's not personal. Like, I saw a video today on YouTube, and y'all know that Pharmacy Girl and a couple others, but I think it was Pharmacy Girl was the first one to call me that, was give me my trail name of You Know You Know. I think it's who it was. I'm pretty sure. But in saying that, it might have been somebody else, but I think it was Pharmacy Girl. There was like 2 or 3 that said it at the same time, so I'm not wanting to take credit away from anybody, but within those 3 or 4 people. So everybody knows I'm all the time saying, if you know, you know. So today I'm on YouTube and I'm scrolling around and there's this video, and it's only been out for like, I don't know, 12 minutes at this point, and it's actually titled If You Know, You Know. And it's a hiking video. I'm like, what in the sand? I took it personal instantly. So I'm clicking, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna go off, and then I ended up loving the video. I was like, okay, it's not personal. It had nothing to do with me. Maybe they watched my video and they saw me and they heard me say, you know, and they like the trails and they like the ideas or whatever. So you got to learn to not take stuff personal. You got to learn to not take stuff personal. Now here's the big one. You ready? Knock on wood. Let's give this one up to the tribute, right? Let's give this one up to the tribute. When I say you don't take it personal, how many of you out there, when you start talking about your dreams, your ideas, maybe it's hiking trail, maybe it's not, but when you tell somebody your thoughts or ideas about something you want to do, they don't seem interested, and then you really take it personal. And I feel like I'm hitting the nail on the head here, because that's me. I'll be like telling people are like, so what are you into, Jim? I'm like, well, you know, I'm going to walk the Appalachian Trail. Oh, that's nice. And you lose them instantly. And for like the next 30 seconds that you're trying to bait them back in to let them hear about the Appalachian Trail, it's just not working. Just not working out, right? And then the conversation goes whatever, and then you'll see them like a week or 2 later. So how's it going, man? You doing pretty good? Yeah. Then all of a sudden they'll be like, I thought you was going out on the trail already. You didn't listen to anything I had to say because it wasn't important. And so then you start taking it personal, even more. And when they are not dialed in, when they're not connected, you're like, man, that really sucks. You want people around you to be connected to this idea of whatever it is. And for me, it's the Appalachian Trail. So I had to learn to come to a place that it's okay mentally, and it's okay for me to look at people when I see that you're not interested and they don't want to hear about the Appalachian Trail, they don't want to hear about hiking, they don't want to hear about your YouTube channel, which we're getting ready to get to in a second, to just change the conversation, go another path, and focus on what I'm doing that is working, right? It's okay to do that. So I'm going to tell y'all, for anybody out there who has a YouTube channel or is thinking about a YouTube channel or doing stuff, I know my buddy Jason, me and him was talking earlier about some local trails here and stuff in the area and stuff. I was asking about a trail if he had walked here in the area, and I told him about some trails I'm getting ready to walk, and we was messaging each other back and forth, and he said, you know, at one point in time he was thinking about a YouTube channel, and he said, but just the consistency and the work it takes to put with it, it was a lot for him at that point and stuff time right now and even then. So, and I can understand that because it is, and I didn't understand it until now. But if you decide, I'm just going to throw this out there, this little bit's free. This has nothing to do with the mental health preparing aspect, Appalachian Trail. This little piece is for free, okay? This has nothing to do with the trail other than I have a YouTube channel. Don't tell your friends and family about your YouTube. If they want to watch it, they'll find it, they'll watch it, right? Because the ones that are around you that should know, like your spouse, your kids, and stuff like that, they already know. So your other family, your other friends, your other neighbors, don't tell them about it, right? Just let it happen naturally. Let your channel organically grow. So on the other side note, like it's so we've talked about so far, you know, talking to somebody is one way of helping dealing with the mental aspect of it, asking questions, being prepared, you know, for constructive criticism, knowing that it's okay for other people not to want or have the vision of your idea. The main big one for me, this is like a number 4 point on this one side, because like I said, I got a couple different sides here, right? I fight part of Appalachian Trail by Mount Kramer. What up, Jim? Not much, Jason. I was just talking about you, brother. It was all good stuff. But anyway, in saying that, where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Jason. Let me see where I'm at. So you have all these aspects. It's I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. Give me a second. You get a couple simple double Java here. Let's backtrack because this is live, right? So, ask questions, or talk, ask questions, constructive criticism, be prepared for when people reject the idea, right? Be prepared for when people reject the idea of the channel. Oh, the overwhelming process of gear. Now, we're going to spend a little bit of time right here. We're going to spend a little bit of time right here. And if you have any comments, you can drop them in. As y'all feel free. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up, give us a like, and subscribe to the channel right here. And anytime you'd like to make a donation, boom, it's right there in the description. Anyway, so we're going to get with that later because I got to address a major issue with that. But the overwhelming aspect of the gear is a big mental aspect of it, right? And anybody that says that that's not a mental aspect of it, you're lying. And you're lying to yourself. The greatest lie a person can tell is the one they tell themselves and actually believe it. That's the greatest lie you can tell. You might want to write that down. Van Wilder. If you know, you know. So, when dealing with gear, it's a huge, like, I'm going to say that right now, mentally, in preparing for the Appalachian Trail, my biggest thing right now that I have been dealing with that's driving me nuts is the gear. It's just driving me nuts because let's just get down to the brass tacks. Let's get down to the brass tacks, shall we? So you'll watch a video and the person will say, go buy this bag and then go buy this gear and then go have this shakedown. Then you'll watch a video and it says, well, no, don't buy the bag first. Buy the gear, then buy the bag, then do this kind of a shakedown. So then you have this person says, well, you know what? You can have the gear, you can't have the gear, but you can still do a shakedown with or without it. You got to get comfortable. There's so many things out there to deal with when it comes to gear that it's not even funny. So you're looking at weight, you're looking at size, capacity, carrying, is it last, the durability, the price, what is it in your budget, There's so many things. Is it stuff that has been tried, tested, and improved? Is there reviews out there? Does this work for me? Is it going to fit? How is this going to help me on my journey? Can I go lighter? Do I need to be heavier? Does it have enough little attachments and gadgets and gizmos? Is it multi-use? Is it something that only has one use? Is it I mean, there's so many things that come to breaking down every part of gear. I've simplified it. I've watched other people's videos, and this is what I'm telling you. To deal with the mental aspect of gear, you have to simplify it for you. You can't get into what everybody else is, number one, has done. Number two, what everybody else is doing. I don't know if anybody else has seen this video the other day that was on YouTube. There is a dude that right now is hiking his base weight. He's hiking AT this year, his base weight, and he had his list up, was like 7.25 pounds. That's his base weight. Great job. The rest of us that live in the real world and don't live on, I mean, like, I'm on a Big Lots budget. But Jason writes, I love gear. Some gear you need, some you don't. What works for one person may not work for you, and you will learn what you need over time with experience. I agree. But dealing with I agree with that wholeheartedly. What works for Jason may not work for me. What works for me may not work for Sparky. What works for Sparky may not work for Lisa. What works for Lisa may not work for Coco. Whatever the case may be. You know, it's gear. So, in saying that, you know, when dealing with the aspect and the mental aspect of preparing for gear, I have simplified it, and it is simply this. Do your thing. Figure out what works for you. My wife has to dial me back in. My friends and family, remember we go back to that communication, having that social network of dealing with my friends, my family. They have to dial me back in, and they have to say, Jim, listen to yourself. Are you doing this hike for a person you've never met, who has probably tried to do this trail 2 or 3 times? Hey, full venture through hiking in April. See you out there. I'll see you out there as well, starting March 10th. But I know we'll see each other in Damascus at Trail Days anyway, right? So, thank you. If you haven't done so already, give us a subscribe and a thumbs up. Appreciate you. But, you know, so many times they have to tell me and be like, are you walking this hike for you? Or are you doing this hike for somebody that you've never met, who's probably tried 2 or 3 times, didn't make it, or maybe they did make it and wish they hadn't carried this or had carried it? You know, the one great piece of advice, I think it was Chase that said it. And Chase, if you're in the room, feel free to put it up there in comments, because Chase is an abundance of knowledge. Chase just came off an Appalachian Trail THRU-HIKE, I think in October. But I think Chase said it best. He said, listen, by the time you get to Neal's Gap, you're going to have a shakedown there. You're going to know by then what you want to keep, what you want to get rid of, what can you lose, what can you keep. Do your shakedown, get rid of what you have to get rid of there, and make your adjustments and go on. So my gear pack, and then there was another person that came out, we read their messages and names. I can't remember everybody's names right now. That said, you want to get your pack weight down at least as close as you can to 15 pounds. We did that. We got it down as close to 15 pounds as we could. And there were still people's like, well, blah, 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 well, blah, 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 well, blah, 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 blah. Great, I'm happy for you. Woo, kudos. Woo, woo. I'm glad you know, like, you folks hold your breath when you walk the trail, so the weight of the air don't matter. I get that. I understand it. I appreciate it. That's not me. So when you take away all of my winter gear weight, which I will be shipping north to my good friend Martha, when you take away all of my good winter gear weight, and I'm only carrying summer gear, my base weight is almost like, it's like 10, 11 pounds. That is phenomenal, right? That is phenomenal. With my winter gear and everything, my base weight's 15, almost 16, and it varies right now. It's going from 16 to 17 to 15 as I'm doing my adjustments. So I'm trying to keep it as close to 15 as I can. So, and that's with winter gear. So I think I'm doing pretty good. But the mental aspect of it, you got to have people around you to dial it in for you, to pull you back from going crazy. Because not only will you go mentally crazy when it comes to gear, you will go financially crazy when it comes to gear. I wish I had time for a big through hike. Too many life responsibilities and work. Watch your adventures from afar. We're going to talk about that in just a second too, Jason. Farm Girl 2004. I'm glad you have a good support system to reel you back. The gear is yours. You must work for you, nobody else. You could be on a never-ending journey of buying gear if you listen to all the critics. Amen and amen. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's where I was headed with this. You can be in a never-ending loop of gear and mentally be there. Mentally be there. Like, am I going to be too cold? They say don't pack your fears. You know what most people, I believe, are packing before they pack their fears? They're packing the mental anguish and issues and the mental issues of dealing with, am I prepared? Did I get it right? Did I buy the right gear? Is everything in place? Am I going to be safe? Do I need this? Do I need that? Is this a necessity? And you got so many people out there and they're just looking for a straight edge answer and cannot get one because there's such a wide variety of it. So having people to reel me back and stuff into this reality has been major. And there's even been people, not just here physically in my physical support system, but subscribers as well, has told me, Jim, listen, dial it back, bro. You're overthinking it. And, you know, hike your own hike. You're overthinking it. So when dealing with, you know, the mental part of it, good support system, ask plenty of questions, be open to constructive criticism, be prepared when people just don't care. Do not let gear become overwhelming. Here's another thing. Do not give up on the trail before you even step foot on it. Don't overthink things. Yes, don't overthink. I forgot that one just on. You're right. Don't overthink things. You know, and don't give up on the trail before you even step foot on it. Let me elaborate. There's a lot of people that they're going to go ahead and they're going to step out on the trail. They're going to have all this mental stuff in them. They're going to get out there and the first few days or first whatever is going to be fine. Maybe they get to Needles Gap and throw their shoes in the infamous tree and call it quits there. Or maybe they go on the trail a little bit, call it quits, whatever the case may be. But before they even stepped on trail, the idea was in the back of their mind, I can come off trail at any time. Okay, so this is where I want to talk to you. In the words of LA Knight, we're getting ready to turn it up a little bit. In the words of LA Knight, you ready? Let me talk to you. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, bad WWE impression. Let me get a drink of my Dr. Pepper versus my double jobber real quick. So let me talk to you. If you go into this thing with the idea and the mindset of, I don't have to finish this, or I'm going to do this, but I don't have to finish it. I can come off anytime. You don't become a statistic. There you go. You are becoming, you have set yourself up to come off trail and let the trail defeat you before you've even stepped foot on trail. Mentally, you have to see your start. You have to see your finish. You have to see the end goal. You have to be able to pull. Look at Gadget. Look at Wonderland. Look at Gadget. Look at Taylor, New Hampshire. Look at all these people walk. Look at Fortune. That took them, what, 2-3 years to actually get it done. Look at all of these people who have walked the trail. Look at Homemade Wanderlust there. Look at the aspects. Look at the mental. Look at the strength that it took to push through. If you go back and you watch Gadget's videos, she's sitting there, she's talking, she's like, man, she's like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I think I'm ready to come off trail. Even Fortune, all these people. But then they push on. So, there's a saying, if you're thinking about coming off of trail, take a 0, maybe 2, think about it, get some rest, get some food, get a shower, get that stuff, see where you're at, get back on trail, walk a few miles, see where you're at. Chances are your battery's rejuvenated, right? But how does that help you before you get on trail? So, here's something I don't think that none of you do, including me, until here recently, until somebody once again reached in and said, Jim, you got to dial it back a little bit. I don't think none of you do this. How many of you who prepare for a hike or a through hike don't take a 0 day in your preparation? Huh? So taking a 0 day or a few 0 days while preparing for a through hike is just as essential as it is while being on the trail. Okay, you have to give yourself the mental break. You have to. You have to find something. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I said we'll talk about we've been posting at least one, if not two videos. Don't quit on a bad day. Is that saying out here? Yes, that's true, Don. That's very true. So, you know, where was going? Oh, the 0 days. So, up till last week, just about every day we're posting a video, we're posting a comment, we're doing lives, we're tearing things up on YouTube. We've already have more videos on YouTube in less than 60 days than most people do an entire year. We've almost reached. We're going to be close to hitting 52 videos very soon. There's 52 weeks in a year, so we at least one. So we're doing phenomenal there. We've been pushing hard. We've been doing these things. Last week hits. Thanksgiving happens. So if you're not from the United States, Thanksgiving is a day where we celebrate the holiday. You can Google it, look it up. And so I didn't do nothing Thanksgiving. I took that day off. And then Saturday was football, and I'm a die-hard college football fan. And anybody who likes college football knows the game was on. When I say the game, you know what I'm talking about, which game I'm talking about. And I wasn't missing in that for the life of me. So I watched that, and I was going to do some stuff after the game. Well, it's starting to get dark about 4:30, 5 o'clock around here. What do you say, Jason? Something like that. Starts getting dusk, and you have cloudy overhead, whatever. So you got to plan your trails accordingly, because by 6:30, sun's down, right? Little Alaska here. He goes, oh. So, yeah, so I didn't. O-H-I-O. Put an X right there. Put an X right there. If you know, you know. But I didn't say that. You know, so JB's got it. But it's say that. So didn't get to do anything Saturday. Sunday was going to go out and do a hike. Planned to hike. Was going on a trail. Something happened Saturday night with some wind or something. And they couldn't, like, the second part of the trail I wanted to do, I couldn't do it. So I was like, okay, I'm just not going to whatever. And so I didn't do it. And so Sunday I was real bummed. So I was like, okay, well, you know, Monday we'll do a gear review. We'll go do a hike. And I was like, well, it's raining, it's snowing. I went to put my gear on, my poncho rips. I'm like, daggone, what we'll do for that. So somebody donates Clemson. Who's Clemson? Do we know who Clemson is? If you know, you know, right? So anyway, y'all will get me fired up. Anyway, so turn around and somebody donated, and I was able to buy some rain gear, and I was going to try it out, whatever. So I ended up turning around and having to go buy rain gear. Somebody donated it so I could get that, and I got that. So we was back on trail. Yeah, weather and the daylight here, it's the hiking time here. Sometimes, yeah, it can be. Like we was just not talking. And so I ended up doing the gear review, which I thought was very, very cool. I'm doing the gear review. I'm doing the shower part, and I'm coming through, and I think it's looking good, and I'm editing. So I come in here. I'm in the office. I'm doing the editing process. I'm going somewhere with all this. I'm doing the editing process, and I'm spinning around, and I realize, Jim, your fly's down for the majority of the video. It's like, damn it, man. So now I got to start the whole video process again. Oh, so it was craziness. But somebody reached out to me from Thanksgiving to yesterday, last night. It's like, Jim, have you thought about taking a 0 when it comes to preparing for the Appalachian Trail? I know this is going to be your topic Tuesday. I could see your comments, and they sent me a nice email, and it was like, have you thought about taking a 0 on your preparation? I never thought about that. So I'm going to start taking zeros. You know, one of the zeros I'm taking this week is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I'm going to go watch Five Nights at Freddy's 2 with my family and everything. So we're going to have a good time watching that, right? and different things. So I'm still trying to get something out just about every day that I can. But in saying that, gotta step back. Can't AI fix your fly? Can't do that, man. Trust me. I'm just gonna leave it alone. There's so much I could say there, Jason. I'm just gonna leave it alone, right? But anyway, in saying that, right? So I will start taking 0 days. So are you taking? Take a 0 day. Take a 0 day from even preparing for the hike. Step back. Even if you have to take a couple. Even if you have like 3 or 4, whatever. Do what you got to do. Step back and look, because it was through taking those zeros that I did last week, Thursday, Saturday, whatever, that I started thinking about my air mattress, and then I started reading some emails, and somebody had sent me an email and said, Jim, have you tried letting air out of your bag? No. So I let air on my air mattress a little bit. Wow, this works a lot better now. Wow, I could sleep on it a little bit better, so there you go. If you know, you know. So all of those things when dealing with mental preparedness is fine. The other thing I need you to do is don't listen to the ones that say you can't. You're going to run into so many people that says I can't, or or like the biggest thing, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but the biggest thing that I get is, so you're going to be going it alone. Well, yeah, you shouldn't be going alone. Well, Jim, been waiting to do a hike. If you want company for any potential night hike, heck yeah, I want to do a night hike. I do want to do a night hike. I want to do an evening into a night hike. We need to get together. We need to plan it. We need to make that happen. We need to make that happen. I have not done one of those in preparation yet. We need to do one. We need to plan it. It needs to be a trail that I'm very familiar with for me to feel comfortable doing it first, instead of just a random trail. We put some thought into that. Yes, we need to do that. Very much so. And I don't think I got night vision on my camera, but that's okay. People can use their imaginations. There's bear out there, right? Anyway, so the biggest thing, like I said, I get is when I talk to people about it, they ask me, well, you're going alone out there. Yeah, I'm going it alone because, no, listen. What they don't understand is there is so many people that are on trail, whether it be through hikers, section hikers, day hikers, whatever the case. Yeah, we can coordinate. We got to make that happen, man. So there's so many people out there that it's going to be on trail that I'm bound to bump into somebody. We talked about this as far as my fears last week, and one of those things is seeing that if we bump into people and different things. My biggest fear is like having groups or whatever, just trying to get away from me as fast as they can, because they're like, there's that guy, let's get away from him. He's a little bit of a, let's walk away. And they give me the whole, as they walk on by, you know what I'm saying? Follow tribute right there. So, and I'm not going to fit much in with the younger crowd. I may have a little bit, but not so much. I fit a lot in with the older crowd. So that's fine too, and it is what it is. I just want to go out there and have a good time. So, so dealing with it. So there's one other thing I want to get into, one more thing I want to get into as far as the physical aspect of it. I'm not going to get too in depth with it, but when I get extremely overwhelmed with it, there's a thing that me and my therapist do, because I go to therapy for PTSD and all this stuff that we do, and it's called the TAP method, right? And you can Google it and different things. So you might see me sitting out in the woods one day, and you see me doing the TAP method, and you see me doing the whole thing where I'm tapping and doing all these things. I'm going through the motions. You'll find your people. I hope, Farm Girl. I hope I do, Farm Girl. I really do. But you'll see me doing the TAP method and going through things, and sometimes you'll even see me going through some light meditation, trying to clear my head. And then the martial arts aspect of me, I don't know if y'all see in the background throughout the week, the things that are behind me, that's all my certifications for my black belts. And so I've been doing it for a long time, so very much into Japanese culture and Chinese culture, but Japanese culture as well. So you'll see me doing what Japanese Mushin breathing method of Mushin, breathing in, breathing out, controlling it, letting anxiety, letting those things go as I'm out on trail. And one of the very, very, very things that, don't feel like that you can over prepare, but you can always under prepare. If you feel like you've over prepared, Set back, write things down, go through the list, and go through there and see if you over prepared or if you have under prepared, because there is a fine line there. So there's a couple other things on this live I wanted to get into and talk to while we're still dealing with the mental aspect. One of the things is not so much my YouTube community, but I've had some things on Facebook, and people message me on Facebook community, and I don't know that they follow me on YouTube or not. If they do, I'm not trying to offend nobody. I'm not trying to put nobody off. But I just wanted to come on here and say a few things. Number one, I've got it figured out down to the very dollar of how much it's going to take me to eat a day on trail. So when preparing for this, you got money set aside, and I do have a little bit of money. With your military and martial arts backgrounds, I don't see where starting trail alone will be a problem. You guys, yeah, starting alone, I'm not afraid of that aspect. I'm not afraid of starting alone or even being alone. Human interaction, I'm very much a social creature by nature. I like to say hi to people, talk to people, and whatever. But at the same time, like you said, I can do this, and I'm going to do this. I see myself starting. I see myself where I need to be about mental. I see myself ending. I know the things that along the way that are getting ready to happen. I have a mother who is losing her memory daily. I'm watching her very much battle dementia, and she's getting into the darker stages of it. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I'm my son, sometimes I'm my dad, sometimes I'm my brother, sometimes I'm a neighbor, sometimes she don't know who I am. So I'm dealing with that. She's 81, 82. I'm dealing with having an uncle who was just diagnosed with some cancer. Y'all be praying if you pray for him or lift up to the guru tree, whatever you do. He's 66 and he dealing with cancer in his neck and his lymph nodes. And I, don't have that many family members left, so I'm close to him. Then I got a cousin over here on my family that just today he had to be taken and have open a catheter, and then tomorrow they're taking open heart surgery. There's a lot of things along the trail I can see that are going to be happening while I'm on trail, and mentally I'm already preparing for those, saying, you know what, I just got to do my thing. I just got to focus. Each day I got to do one thing. I got to get up and I got to walk. That's all I got to do. I got to get up and I got to walk. So, preparing for it, being alone, that's not going to be a problem. I'm very much a social person by nature. But at the same time, there's so many aspects to this. It's so many levels, so many layers. But getting back on where I was at, listen, is there things that I still need, even though I have a little bit set aside, and even though I have the majority of my gears, there's things. I got this thing when in preparing for this mentally. I had to sit down. I'm a guy that has to have some type of plan. I know you can take your plan and throw it out the window, like Sloth said. I agree with that 100%. But I have to have some kind of an idea, a direction, a plan. If I'm mentally preparing for something, I have to know. I have to have an idea. I just can't go into something and say, okay, well, I'm just going to live by the fly and the seat of my britches, and hopefully this week I have enough to eat. No, I have to know, is it going to cost me $100 this week to eat? Is it going to cost me $135, $150? What's it going to cost me to eat this week? How many hostels am I looking at a month? Based on Chase and some other people's comments, they said about every 10 days they took a zero or took a day off. So 30 days in a month, so that would be 3 hostels or hotels within a month. So that's 30, 60, 90. That's at least $90 to $100 a month budget I've got to set aside to try to get hostels, ones that ain't donated ahead of time through Venmo or PayPal, which is appreciated but not expected. And then so I got to set that aside, and then I got to look at my food, and I got to say, okay, what's going to cost me anywhere from $10 to $20 to eat a day. So I'm looking at going, okay, I've got it down now where I can eat for $15 a day. So I've got it set up even on Facebook where people can sponsor me for one day, and $15 a day. That supplies breakfast, lunch, dinner, all the snacks in between, plus my element drink mix for that whole day. And if I can get enough people to help fill that in, then that's amazing. Do I already have enough funds to do that kind and eat and do these things? Yeah, I have funds for eating and stuff. Military takes great care of me. Homeboy ain't missing very many meals, you can tell. I'm not. So military takes very good care of me when it comes to that. But in saying it, every penny helps. Every little thing is one step forward, and it's a great it's a great motivational thing push forward when people do help out. I'm not saying, not expected, I'm just putting this out there. I have to have a plan. Where is it coming from? Plan when preparing for your Appalachian Trail hike. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Plan for it. Plan for the things roughly. Even if it's just a light pencil sketch, just plan, understanding that things are going to change. You're going to have to adapt on the fly and different things. So when I say that I'm going to have to have hustle at least 3 nights out of the month, right? That's if everything lines up perfect, the weather's fine, everything's kosher. What happens if a Hurricane Helene or something like that comes through? I have to be off the trail more than that, right? So what happens if my mother, who was dealing with the dementia, something happens, then I got to come home. I got to deal with that. Something happens with the uncle, I got to come home. I got to deal with that. The cousin, me and him we've shook hands and everything, and we've done our thing. So I know where he's at. He knows where I'm at. He would want me to stay on the trail. I'm gonna stay on the trail. But there's different things that you don't know that's going to happen in this plan, but you can still kind of have a sense of preparedness, a sense of readiness, and a sense of ownership to what it is you're about to do. Because if you don't and you go into this blind, oh my God, it blows my mind to the people that tell me, hey, just let it go, just walk, just take off. And no, I can't do that. I have to know every aspect of it. So I brought up the financial part of it just for a little bit because I have people even on Facebook and stuff, mostly family, message me and stuff and saying, hey, you know what? Before you've done this, you should have the money. It's not right to be asking people for money. I'm not asking for people for money. I've had people that's wanted to donate, and they have donated, and it's very much appreciative. I try to keep your names as private as possible. I got a piece of gear that's coming in Saturday. It was purchased out for last week's live. It was supposed to be here, and then with Thanksgiving and the weather, and there was something wrong with the shipping issue, so my Gashmere, my tent, it got pushed back a couple days, so it's supposed to be here by Saturday. We want to do a good gear review and unboxing video of all that. There is so much to this that it's not even funny. And if people want to give, I'm not going to stop them from giving. I'm not going to be a beggar. I'm not going to come out here and be like, please, sir, please. I'm just not. I'm not. I can figure it out. In the words of Hank Williams Jr., I know how to hunt. I can fish. I can run a trout line. Country boys can survive, right? If you know, you know. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. It will be prepared for and provided for. So, like I said, I got it all kind of little things taken down. But you got to go through the areas. You got to go through the steps if you're going to be mentally prepared. So where am I at mentally right now? Dead focus. All stop. Dead focus. Every single thing I do, every day, for the most part, is this helping me prepare for the trail? Is this setting me up while I'm on the trail? Or is this teaching me something that I'm going to need to know about the trail? Even to taking the zero with my family and going and watching the movie this week. Is that something? Hey, I'm going to be honest with you, because the last time I went to the movies and watched a movie, it was Superman. I'm a huge Superman fan. Huge Superman fan. Got the tattoo. That's in honor of my one buddy who passed away. Huge Superman fan. Was sitting in the movie, watching the new Superman movie, and was freaking out. Had 3-4 anxiety attacks. Almost didn't make it through the movie. Did actually have to go to the ER after the movie for dealing with the anxiety attacks of being in the theater, being around that many people in a dark place, and all these things. So, because when you're in combat, those type of situations are real, right? So, that's just something to be awareness about. So there's so many layers to this. So even going into this Thursday, I'm sitting here thinking, how's this help me and benefit me on the trail? Gets me used to being out around people, puts me in an awkward position, gets me to a place to where I'm around loud noises again. All these things, everything I do every day, that's where I'm at mentally. I'm in a place mentally that everything is about the trail. When I close my eyes at night, I see myself walk on the trail. When I wake up in the morning, the very first thing I do is I come in here, I get my coffee, use the restroom, get my coffee, come in here, sit up, give meow meow, a few pets right on the head, pat pat pat, turn on the computer, look at your folks' comments, look at the videos, see if there's any other videos, try to figure out if there's any other Appalachian Trail videos that's been launched for the week that I can watch their videos. How can I help them? Can I support their channels? Can I drop their names in descriptions? Can I say, hey, you need to go watch Tent Life Crisis? He's got some great videos. He's only got 4 or 5 out there, but they're great videos. You need to watch Tent Life Crisis. There's some other people out there. There's Laura on trail. You need to go watch Laura's video. I mean, there's so many things out there, and so many people out there. You know, you got Sloth's video. You know, all these things. So everything about where I'm at right now is about Appalachian Trail. Everything. And then I know Jason, he had mentioned to come up there in the comments, and I told him to get back to it, and I've mentioned it to him before. Listen, this YouTube thing might take off, it might not. We're at 188 subscribers as of right now. I don't know what the future holds. I would like to have a big silver button back here. That's 100,000. All right, that's 100,000 subscribers. Love to have that silver button. Can it happen? Yes. Will it happen? Don't know. Is it going to take work? You bet. Am I going to forget the people that helped get me there? You better bet on your bottom dollar. The ones that are tuning in on the lives, the ones who drop the comments, the ones that are offering advice, the Chases, the Farm Girls, the Jasons, the Sparkies, the Dons, the JBs. These folks, you folks, y'all are the ones that trust me. The world better hope I don't make it, because if I do, there's a group of people coming with me. I'm putting together a team. And that's the way it is. And I don't know, when I say put together a team, it sounds like Avengers. Not that. We're not going to be the Avengers. And not even the re-Avengers, right? Anyway, so you know. Anyway, but what I'm saying is I'm taking people with me. I'm not forgetting the ones that help. Look at what Mr. Beast did. The ones that was there, the ones that took, he took them with him. There's a lot of them, he brought some people along that he could. So not everybody's going to make that. Because in the words of Steve Harvey, there's some people who hop on the trains to pull you down the hill versus to help push you up it. So you got to be careful. But in saying that, you know, I keep receipts. But Mystery Men, well, wait a minute. Ain't that a movie too? And then plus we're gonna have females too, so that don't necessarily work. I don't know, Jason. We'll have to hike and come up with a name for that. We just will. Maybe even have some T-shirts made, right? Which I'm in the process of doing, actually, having a T-shirt and a hat made. So yeah, so there you go. That's where I'm at. The mental preparedness, everything that I can tell you for right now, from where I am at. Man, is it driving me crazy. That's an understatement, y'all. This trail, there is absolutely no path in my head right now. None that I see that I do not complete this trail. I'd buy merch for you. Cool, I appreciate that. I do. I really do. I got a shirt coming. I'm putting together a hat, a hoodie. I think that's about it. And I think a coffee mug. I think that's what we're putting together now in the background. Got some little support team on the side helping me with this, right? And I don't know how much they're going to be, because it's one of those companies that you go through. They have all the upfront costs. They set the price. I get a kickback. I get a percentage of it. I don't get the full price of it, right? So it goes through them. So I like, if it's $30 for a hoodie, I'm sorry, I might get $6 or $7 of it, but they set the price. So I'm not sure exactly how much it's going to be. I'm not to the point to where I can have my own team do that for me yet, but it's coming. I'm telling you, hang on. I'm telling you, the world better hope I don't get successful. If they do, I'm bringing a team with me. In the words of Dion, for my college fans, for my college football fans, in the words of Dion, I'm bringing Louie with me. You hear me? If you know, you know. And right now, I got Piggly Wiggly with some duct tape. But anyway, woo! So anyway, I got to get ready to jump off here. So anyway, so here's what I've got. I want to boil this down on before. Give me a few minutes. I know when people say that, people start jumping off like crazy and running for the church parking lot. They got to be the first at the restaurant to eat, because the sermon's about over, right? So just stay with me for a few more seconds. If you know, you know. If you would like to donate, please do so. There's a description. PayPal and Venmo. Every donation counts. Every penny counts. every cent, everything counts and goes towards the trail. So what are we working on right now? We're pretty much set on gear. There's a few little things. I'm going to be able to get those through pick and pull, whatever, and do the little things. Well, $10 here, $20 there, that type of thing. Right now, we're working on getting the 214 days of meals, as many of those covered that I don't have to pay out of pocket as much as possible, because I want to be able to have a nice cushion egg, and I want to be able to have an extra bit of hostel money and hotel money and emergency fund money as I can. But in order to have the extra emergency money and stuff I need, I got to cover some meals and stuff. All the meals thus far are covered, but if I can get those sponsored and those days sponsored, we can get them covered. So let me show you what we're going to do real quick. This is a real cool idea. I don't have it completely set up, but I have it enough to set up to show you what we do. You remember the bear can, right? This is the bear can that did not make the cut. This did not. If the restaurant is Gina's Pizzas to Bismarck, count me in. If you're local, you know, you know. I know. But anyway, that's funnier than hell, Jason. But anyway, that is some funny shit. Anyway, excuse my language. But we got the bear can, right? So what we're going to do, for those who want to donate, I am in the process of getting some Monopoly money. And we are going to crack this open. When people donate, when we're on the lives or whatever, we are going to fill the bear jar to the top, right? So it takes $15 a day to sponsor me on trail. $15 a day. And that's 3 meals, snacks, and my element drink mix for that day. And if somebody wants to donate 15, we're going to drop some money in here. Somebody wants to donate money for gear, we're going to drop it in here. Somebody wants to donate money for hostel, we're going to drop it in here. Somebody wants to donate money so that Jason can join the hike one day, we're going to drop it in here. Somebody, whatever the case may be, right? We are going to drop it in the bear can. This is going to be our donation jar. We could write your name on it if you'd like, or we could put anonymous, however you want to do it. But I want to try to fill, it's going to be Monopoly money for now, because your homeboy don't got real cash dollars in his hand. So, you know, if you know, you know, and Monopoly money is easier to come by, right? So we're going to fill the jar with the pledges, and with the money comes in on PayPal and Venmo, and towards the trail, we're going to fill the jar, and then your names can go on it or whatever. We can do a live where we're putting people's names and counting and see what our main goal is. But we have 214 days out on trail, and at $15 a day, that's roughly about $3,000 that we need to try to raise if we can. We don't have to, but if we can, that's amazing. If you have to give, that's awesome. If you don't, that's awesome too. It's not what this is about. So moving forward, you're not going to hear me talk about it no more. That's the point I wanted to come to. You're going to hear me say on my videos from now on. I said this on the video last night. I told you I was going to address a little bit on this video, and I am. You're going to hear me simply say, if you wish to donate, there's a PayPal and there's a Venmo link below. Boom. If I get a donation through PayPal and Venmo at the beginning of a video or whatever, you're just going to see the jar, you're going to see money going in, and that's it. I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to come on here and be like, hey, you know, I need some waffles. No, it's not what we're going to do. So I'm not bumping on those people whatsoever. I think there's people out there very much like, especially, do you realize there's 30,000 homeless veterans in this country? Anyway, so I'm not bumming on those people at all. I'm just saying I don't want to come off as being a beggar, because I do have some things at my disposal, but other things if I can get covered, it would be phenomenal. So this little, how you keep a bear out? How do you keep Jim out of this thing? That's the pressing on the thing. There it goes. Press it on the thing again. There it goes. Okay, so the lid is off the jar, or loose off the jar. So from this moment on, people would donate. Money is, or the Monopoly money is going in the jar to help try to fill it up. And like I said, that's it. That's all you hear about it from here on out. So if you want to donate, you can. Whether it be, if you can put in comments, hey, this is for gear. Hey, this is for food. Hey, this is for hotels, hostel. This is for whatever, and go from there. And then while I'm on trail, I'm gonna have with my support system, to get back on support system. I have somebody set up here for support system. If you want to see care packages out, there's gonna be somebody here that's gonna help you be able to do that on my end. If you want to know where I'm about and at, so maybe you ahead of time pay for a hostel for me without me even knowing, in the area, hey, they're going to be able to help you with that. They're going to let you know where I'm at. There's going to be a couple of those people that are going to be around and be able to do stuff like that for me. Other than that, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want people to feel like that this is about money for me, because it's not. It didn't start about money. It's not going to be about money. And by God, it's not going to end about money. It's going to be about the Appalachian Trail. It's going to be about walking this trail together. And it's going to be about having you folk. I want you folk. This is my overall goal. I don't want to be just a vlogger. Nothing against any of these other people who's done videos. It's been phenomenal. Fortune and Wanderlust and Taylor and Beer and Beautiful Places and Roadrunner and all of these people, they've paved the way for what I'm getting ready to do, and I'm so dang appreciative of these folks. I've watched their videos. I could tell, it's like watching my favorite movie. I can quote them before they say it themselves on the videos. I've watched them so much because I'm just blown away. I'm just blown away by what they've done and what they're doing. So I'm trying to build something on the back end as well as on the YouTube as well. But I don't want it to be about money. I don't want it to be about those things. I want it to be about you. And I'm not trying to take nothing away from what they have done and what they have accomplished in the different things. But what I am trying to do is to make sure you feel like when I step day one on that trail that you are 100% on the trail with me, right beside me, hiking, setting up the tent. If I'm miserable in the rain, I want you to be miserable in the rain. If I'm cold at night, you're going to feel like you're cold at night. If I'm having a very good day, I want you to feel like you're having a very good day. These are the things that we want to accomplish. I want this experience to be very much interactive. I want comments. I want you to be part of this as much as physically possible, right? It's not about the money. It's not about the donations. If you have to give, awesome. If you don't, awesome. If nothing else, just hit subscribe, hit follow, share, watch the videos, because sooner or later, that silver button is going to be right here on the wall. But above it, it's going to be a name. It's going to be a big old plaque that has the names that helped get me there, right? So, I'm just telling you, it's a vision. It's where I'm at. It's a vision. There's no way I don't see myself completing this trail. I may have to come off the trail if something happens to my mama for a few days. If you know, you know. Something happens to my uncle, probably ain't coming off trail. Love him, but probably ain't happening. Something happens to my cousin, love him, probably ain't coming off trail. Other than my mama, my wife, my kids, not coming off trail. If it's something health-wise that the doctors say, Jim, you have no other choice but to come off trail, I'm coming off trail. But other than that, there's no way I do not see me come off trail unless it's one of two ways. Mount Katahdin, standing on top of it, in tears, finished an incredible journey, or in a body bag. That's the way it is. My mental preparation is there. In a lot of ways, I'm already standing on Mount Katahdin. I'm just waiting for the physical part of me to get there. You know how many times I've walked this trail in my mind already? All right, so anyway, we've been on here for about an hour or whatever. I hope I've answered everybody's questions. We will have another poll launched tomorrow. We will have another poll launched tomorrow, the next day, for next week's questions. We got 4 brand new questions set up, man. They're going to be very good questions. Make sure you watch that. Also, we have, apparently me and Jason, we're going to set up doing a night hike very soon. We're going to make sure that that happens. It won't be an overnighter, but it'll be like a 3, 4, 5, 6 mile or something like that. We'll come back, go out, come back in. That type of deal, and get that posted so you folks can have that. We also got the Gossamer, the Gear 2 tent coming in by Saturday, so we have that gear review coming as well. We got some different things we're trying out inside of our cotton with our tent that we're going to try as well with some fitted flannel sheets. If you know, you know. So you want to watch those videos, get that in there. We got some hikes planned. We got the Head House Trail, Jason. Whew. I'm actually going to do it. The Head House Trail. Son of a biscuit eater, right? That is a beast of a trail. We're going to do that one. We got some other local trails to finish up. We got the Fayetteville Trail. We got to polish off some trails. Conveyor Trail. Some different things like that. The Conveyor Trail is down right now. at a certain point. Way I understand it, to Nettleburg. We're not driving to Nettleburg. That's too dangerous of a road, and I dang sure ain't walking it. But we got some little trails we're going to finish up here, and then we are headed to Canaan Valley, West Virginia, and Spruce Knobs, Blackwater Falls, and Harper's Ferry for our shakedown. Our shakedown will be in Harper's Ferry, West by God, Virginia. So we're looking very forward to that 3 day shakedown hike. And it's actually be part of the Appalachian Trail. We are stoked for that, right? So we will see you then on there too. So that's coming up. So don't miss all these things coming up and leading into it. Christmas Day, we will be taking off. Christmas Eve, we will be taking off. And New Year's Eve, we may do something. I doubt it. I think New Year's Eve, we're taking off. And Brooklyn Mine is my volunteer trail with NPS. Cool. The National Park Service. Cool. I've never done the Brooklyn Mine Trail. I need to do that one. I've done part of it. Let me say that. I'll be near Canaan in a couple weeks, staying cabin, hope it snows a bunch. If you're going to be in the Canaan Valley in a couple weeks, I promise you it's going to have snow, depending on where you're at there. Now, listen here, Farm Girl. I'm gonna give you, if you're going to be in Canaan, I'm going to give you I don't know if you know about that area much or not, whatever. Go to the Smoke Hole Caverns caves. Same temperature year round, so they're open year round. Smoke Hole Cavern caves are phenomenal, and now they got some different things that's going on up there. They got the choo-choo train and different things over there. Woot woot. They tell the one woot woot. So yeah, we got that. So we got a lot of things coming. What I'm saying on channel. So make sure that y'all tune in and watch these things. Like I said, last time to hear it. You want to feel it? Feel it. If you don't, don't. If you know, you know. All right, I only got one more thing. I only got one more question. I only got one more favor to ask of each and every one of you. Do me a favor. Number one, thank you for all of our subscribers. Actually, two more things. Thank you for all of our subscribers that have tuned in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Hit that little bell notification right here on the channel.